Yeah, simply ball dropping. What's up, family? K-Sap, we up! Ain't no stopping. I'm simply ball dropping like it's New Year's Eve, making you haters believe I'm the MVP. Ask Mr. V and R&B, they do all sports, whether it's on the field or the court, from the arena to the ring. What? You wanna swing? I rope a dope like the one on this boxing thing. That's a punchline. I'm the greatest of all times. Got something on your mind? Hit us up on the line for that round table talk. Ask B Hunt and Sheena and K-Sap too for their views on our dudes. Marriage Chronicles for you lovers. Oh, I'm married to the game. The championships, the only time I wanna ring. K-Sap, the man behind the mic. Check 1, 2. It ain't a rap until I say it's a rap. Just fall through, pull up the hottest pod smoking. Yeah, I got you open. This freestyle brought to you by James Ford. Paid promotion. Yeah, simply ball dropping. You know what time it is. Pull up, chop it up with your family, man. K-Sap, what up?
And now, your host of the Simply Ball Droppin' Podcast, the man behind the mic, K-Sap.
This episode is sponsored by True Choice Insurance. Here at True Choice, we take a different philosophy when it comes to providing you with your insurance options. We emphasize the value of the products we offer, instead of playing on the fear of you not being protected in your time of need. True Choice is affiliated with more than 60 insurance companies. This makes us one of the most independent agencies in the state of Texas. Please visit TrueChoiceInsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
Yo, welcome to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm the host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. And like I always said, we don't just cover sports. We cover roundtable talks. We cover marriage chronicles, relationships. We cover it all. We're not no one-trick pony. And welcome to all my new subscribers that have subscribed over the recent days. I appreciate your support. Hashtag salute. And like I tell people, when you come upon this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It only helps the channel grow. So I appreciate everybody that's rocking with me, everybody that's supporting me. And to all my faithful listeners and my subscribers, thank you. Thank you. Also for the new subscribers that are jumping on board, y'all come on, take this journey with us, man. Y'all come on board, take this journey with us. Like I said, we do appreciate everything. Appreciate everything. So today's episode, we're going to get off into the Dallas Cowboys and the backlash Dak is receiving for his play in the divisional game against the San Francisco 49ers. As you guys are well aware of, Dallas Cowboys, they stay in the news, they stay in the media, what they call America's team. That's the way the media labels them. So they get talked about a lot. So the up and down of the season, it finally, took its toll on the Dallas Cowboys. The first game of the season, they lose to Tampa Bay. Dak gets hurt. Cooper Rush comes in, reels off 4 straight victories. Lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. Dak comes back. And through the course of them games, if you realize, that defense was playing lights out. Cooper Rush was managing the game. He wasn't turning the ball over. They was putting points on the board. The defense was playing well enough to get them the victories, because when Cooper Rush was, behind the center, they wasn't putting too many points on the board, but they was winning games because it was on their defense and Micah Parsons, D-Law, the linebacker crew, the cornerbacks. The cornerbacks, Trayvon Diggs was playing lights out. Anthony Brown was suspect, but they was getting by. He got hurt. They brought in an additional corner, but they made it do what it had to do. And they was winning football games. 13 victories in the NFL. That's hard to do. They had 13 victories. and they got themselves in the playoffs. And when they got in the playoffs, everybody said that, they come up short when they get in the playoffs. And this year, the same thing happened. They played in the wild card game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers is a team that's on the decline. Even though they got Tom Brady, but Tom Brady is one of them quarterbacks that is mobile and he can't move around. And Dallas's defense teed off on him. And if you look in that wild card game versus the game that they played at the end of the season against the Washington Commanders, the Washington Commanders really had Dallas befuddled. The offense couldn't do nothing. The defense really didn't do nothing. And the Commanders won that game. But if you look at it going into the playoffs, that's the kind of season that the Cowboys was having. Ups and downs, roller coaster rides. You don't know what team is going to show up. One team show up, they'll blow you out. The next time they show up, not so. So let's take a little dive into this. When they played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they played a Todd Bowles team. Todd Bowles is known as a defensive coordinator. Todd Bowles is known as a good defensive play caller. So basically, Dallas, Dak Prescott shredded apart a Todd Bowles defense. Dak Prescott threw for over 300 yards. He threw for 305 yards. He had 4 touchdowns, and he ran for 1. So he was accounted for 5 TDs. And that defense played lights out. Once again, that defense showed up, and that defense, that's their calling card. That defense was flying around. Micah Parsons, D-Law. They had pressure up front, and they was doing a lot of things that Tom Brady couldn't figure out. Tom Brady was underthrowing balls. He was overthrowing balls. He wasn't on the same page with Mike Evans. But things broke down. In Dallas, you looked at that team and said, man, they might make a deep playoff run. But on the flip side, it was against a Tampa Bay team that should have never been in the playoffs. They won their division by winning 7 games. So we move forward to the divisional round against a stronger opponent. They played the San Francisco 49ers. And if you recall, last year, they got bounced out by the 49ers in Jerry's world. And that game came down to the last play, clock management. Everybody questioned the last play call of Dak with the draw play, running up the gut, running as far as he did, and got down, but wasn't able to get the ball spiked as the time expired. San Francisco moves on. They beat the Cowboys in Jerry's world. Now, all year long, everybody been talking about Dak this, Dak that. Dak signed a substantial amount of money on his contract. So, in order for Dak to be playing the way Dak is playing, and he's a Cowboy, he's under a lot of scrutiny. But you guys got to realize something. They talk about Dak's turnover. They talk about the interceptions. They talk about everything. Dak has been so inconsistent with the Cowboys. Me personally, I don't think that they can win a Super Bowl with Dak as their quarterback. Dak has a lot of things that he needs to clean up. And a lot of things that he's done on the football field with the inconsistent play, the turnovers, and the interceptions, it reared its ugly head. And it reared its ugly head at a very, very bad time. And the thing about it is, when you're going into the playoffs, you got to play mistake-free football. You got to win the turnover battle. But when you got a defense, the way the Dallas Cowboys have a defense, and the way they played, and they hold an opponent to 19 points, and the offense can't put enough points up to win that game, who does that lie on? So it's been a lot of finger pointing and a lot of blame going around. But I will say this. Out of 49 consecutive games that Dak has played, he has not put together a back-to-back game where he has not turned the ball over. Think about that for a second. 49 consecutive games where he has played and he has not put together a back-to-back game where he has not turned the ball over. That's absurd. And you getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars to play the quarterback role. And you turning the ball over at a high clip. Guys, you got to realize something. Dak missed 5 games and still led the league in interceptions. The interceptions that Dak has thrown, some of them you put them on Dak because of the bad reads. Sometimes the receivers don't help him out because they dropping the balls and deflections, and the defensive backs are coming up with these picks. But some of these picks are bad reads. You look at last week in the divisional game against San Francisco. The first pick that he threw in the first quarter. You know, looking at Michael Gallup, and the defender breaks on the ball and he picks it off. But that defense, you know, gave Dak some justice where they held him to a field goal attempt and they held him to 3 points because they started that possession in Dallas's territory. And that defense played lights out and they held San Francisco with them particular players that they have over there. Deebo Samuels, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, you know, George Kittles, you know, Brock Purdy. You know, y'all can say what y'all want to say about Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy is a third-string quarterback, rookie. He was poised. And, you know, they won 11, 12 straight games. So the thing about it is Dallas's defense played great enough to win the game. But they came up short. And this is when, you know, the finger pointing, the bickering, the back and forth. And we'll look at it a little deeper because Micah Parsons, after the game, he went on to say, I quote this, I will show it. This is what Micah Parsons had to say. Clarence Hill on his Twitter, he said a frustrated Cowboys linebacker, Micah Parsons, said the 49ers defense made more plays than they did, but he also added that giving up just 1 touchdown and getting Deebo and McCaffrey in check should have been enough to win, especially if you don't have the 2 turnovers. So guys, what is that saying? Basically, Micah Parsons is pointing the blame at the offense, and majority of it on Dak Prescott. But then he tries to go back and clean his tweets up by tweeting some more things with what he said, showing the fact that this is what he meant. He wasn't taking a shot at Dak, but look at these 2 tweets. These 2 tweets by Micah Parsons says, besides Mahomes, every team in the finals with the 4 quarterbacks is on a rookie deal and is surrounded by talent. Interesting take. Then he goes on to say, listen, we're not going to sit here like I'm talking about Dak. Shh. When I get paid, I'm going to want a big contract too. Come on, stop reaching. So to me, Michael Parsons is doubling down on what he said. First of all, he is taking a shot at Dak because he wouldn't have said that. I understand when you're at that podium and you're frustrated, you're trying to figure out why you lost the game, your emotions come out and you say a lot of things that, you know, is going to be scrutinized. But you got to understand something. That's your profession. You're going to be scrutinized on things that you say pertaining anything that comes with the Dallas Cowboys. So my take on that is he took a shot at Dak. There's a lot of finger pointing going around. And you know, Dak, to make things matter, to make matters worse, you know, they pouring everything on Dak. His girlfriend left him. If you notice 2 years back, Dak had the mental struggle. His brother passed away. He had the mental struggle. So you don't know how this is affecting Dak in the offseason. Because after the game, Dak said he has to be better. Guaranteed next year he will be better. But we haven't heard from Dak since then. So I look at it like this. Micah Parsons played well on defense. But there was some games, Micah Parsons, you was just running around. You didn't show up. But majority of the season, you was there. You was there. So kudos to you, but taking a shot at your quarterback like that's stuff that, it shouldn't have came out like that. But y'all putting tweets out there and letting the media outlet and people decipher on what you're meaning. And then you have to double down and back down and come out with another tweet to clarify yourself. And things get, even worse. But then I take it a step further. The Dallas Cowboys, their media outlet, had things to say. Look what they had to say. The Dallas Cowboys, this is coming from their verified Twitter. Dak Prescott gave away the ball twice in a narrow loss to the 49ers. In a matchup the Cowboys had a chance to win. If they didn't again generate self-inflicted wounds. And that's coming from their Twitter account. And a lot of people might speculate that the Cowboys' Twitter got hacked, but this is coming from the Dallas Cowboys. Now, you think that owner Jerry Jones will let somebody put something out there like that? I don't think so. So this is verified. So this has a lot of facts with it. And this is how the Cowboys feel. So that is unfortunate. And look how Dak is just looking down at the iPad. So that's hard to take coming from your organization. So it's a lot. It's a lot with Dak being inconsistent, turnovers. But that's who Dak is. Until Dak cleans that up, this is what you're going to get from the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. I'm not saying that, the Cowboys need to move away from Dak, but I don't think they can win a Super Bowl with Dak behind the helm. He has to be in this offseason and he has to do things and he has to make a dramatic change because he's not getting it done. Regular season is regular season for playoff positioning and to get into the playoffs. Everybody was invited to the dance. But it's what you're going to do when you get that queen in front of you, how you're going to shake your leg. And some people don't make it. They can't dance in front of that queen. And that's the Dallas Cowboys. It's the history. The Dallas Cowboys have not been relevant since 1995, their last Super Bowl. And, the history, people are still banking on, the past about the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, we're America's team. We won 5 Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, what have you done for me lately? And it starts with Dak Prescott. A lot of people are frustrated about that. Now to make matters worse, it's a lot of changes coming with that organization as well. So if you look at it like that, the changes are coming. You had coaches on expiring contracts, coaching changes. Multiple sources say the Cowboys will not bring back senior defensive assistant George Edwards, assistant defensive line coach Leon Lett, running backs coach Skip Peete, offensive line coach Joe Philbin, and 2023's coaching staff. They were among the number of coaches with expiring contracts. And Edwards has played a big part in Micah Parsons' development. Pete coached 2,000-yard rushers in his second stint with the Cowboys and no fumbles in 2022. Philbin dealt with a number of different combinations through injuries in his time. Lett has been a fixture with the team. So losing them intricate parts of the coaching staff is telling me this is coming from the top, that these guys are not good enough with this coaching organization for the Cowboys to win. So they have to change things up. Is that saying Mike McCarthy is going to lose his job? I don't think so. Do I think Kellen Moore is going to be the offensive coordinator next year? We don't know. He's been on, coaching, vacancies. People been wanting to talk to him. Same thing with Dan Quinn, defensive guru. If they lose Dan Quinn and all the coaches that they left, they got to bring a whole new coaching staff in, besides the head coach and Mike McCarthy. But the thing about it is, the talent that the Dallas Cowboys have, they have enough to win. But with Dak Prescott, I don't think they're moving the needle. I don't think they're getting it done. I don't think they can win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott. Unfortunately, all the money that he makes, he's too inconsistent. The turnover is going to hurt you. You have to secure the ball. And the crazy thing about it is, out of everything that's been poured on Dak, CeeDee Lamb has his back. And let's listen to what CeeDee Lamb had to say after the loss.
Your quarterback's going to hear a lot of criticism for this game. Do you think it's going to be merited or deserved?
He's going to get criticized regardless, no matter how he played, unless he didn't throw two or zero interceptions. If he'd have threw zero interceptions, everybody would have been on his coattail. Just because he threw picks, everybody's going to be on him. That's fine. Everybody throws picks, but he plays for Dallas Cowboys. He's number 4. He's our starting quarterback, so that's what comes with it. I'm with my boy, and he knows that. So it is what it is. We're gonna work.
Can you say you've won 12 games? You get to the divisional round again. Can you say you had a good season, or just not feel like that?
Most definitely, we had a good season, but enough of that. We gotta show up in the playoffs.
Appreciate it. That's interesting what CeeDee Lamb said. CeeDee Lamb is one of them guys, one of them big play receivers that a lot of people question, could he be a number 1 receiver after they let Amari Cooper walk? They really missed Amari Cooper because half of the issue with Dak is he sticks to one read. He don't go through his progressions. There was a lot of missed opportunities last weekend, a lot of missed opportunities where Dak had open receivers where he's trying to force the ball. Early on in the season, too many targets to Noah Brown, not enough targets to CeeDee Lamb. And then the middle of the season, CeeDee Lamb started picking up, he started making big plays. But CeeDee was getting his through big plays, but not enough targets. So the Amari Cooper, letting him go, that really hurt that Dallas offense on the wide receiver core. Then you bring in a T.Y. Hilton in the playoffs, then you don't utilize him. CeeDee Lamb is a number 1 receiver. CeeDee Lamb can make number 1 receiver plays. He can make the big plays. CeeDee Lamb is shifty and nifty. So my take with this was CeeDee Lamb. He got his Cowboys quarterbacks back. He got Dak's back. And he said he's gonna work. So hopefully, in the offseason they can get together and they can do work. But this notion of Dak Prescott is the quarterback of the future for the Cowboys is far-fetched. A lot of people thought Cooper Rush could have won that game if he was put in that Dak situation, because Cooper Rush is not gonna, turn the ball over at a high clip the way Dak Prescott turns the ball over. And, sometimes, Dak, you got to use your legs. You got to take advantage of it. You took advantage of it against Tampa Bay. But when you face the lights out defense in San Francisco, that really showed who you was. But Dak, you got to get it together, man. CeeDee Lamb got your back. But as far as Micah Parsons pointing the fingers, I know he's frustrated because he thought the defense played well enough to win and they didn't come out victorious. But that goes to show, man, this is a team game. This is team sports. Everybody got to ride for each other. And for Michael Parsons to say that he wasn't taking a shot at you, Dak, and then double down on it to try to justify what he was saying, that means he was taking a shot at you. So, guys, just let me know what you think. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Comment on the video, like the video, share the video, tell a friend to tell a friend. And like I always say, this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm the host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap, and we're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.